What's up guys, I'm Uriel Soto, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create a contact form, and I'm even going to show you how to create the contact us page using Forminator and Elementor. So this is a form that we're going to be creating here. I went ahead and just created the entire contact us page, so I'll be showing you guys how to do that as well, and how to add this little design here and this contact information box, as well as create your contact form here. Now I'm going to go ahead and just test it out for you so you guys see how it's going to work. So I'm just going to do some test information here. So I'm going to go ahead and click send message. And as you can tell, my message has been sent and it's all working great. Now the last thing that I'm going to show you, that I do go ahead and show you how to mobile optimize this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just refresh my page here and just show you that it's completely mobile optimized for those of you that are wondering. Go. And there you guys have it. So that's pretty much how the form is going to look like. If you guys do end up finding this video helpful, make sure to squash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Hey, so I just started a Discord in case you guys wanted to join the community. And if you guys have any questions, that's definitely a good way to reach out to me. So I'll have that down in the description so you guys can go ahead and check that out. Now, without further ado, here's a video. Let's begin. Head over to your dashboard and go into plugins. And we just need to install a plugin called Forminator. So go ahead and just type in form. And it should be the third one here, Forminator. Or you can just type in Forminator, however you want to go ahead and do that. And then just install it. And activate it here. Now before I go and create my form, I'm just going to quickly create my contact page here. I'm going to go to my pages. I already have a contact page here. And I'm just going to go ahead and add some content using Elementor. Now if you're not using Elementor, that's fine. You can just use a shortcode and add it to any of your pages. Maybe you're using Gutenberg. You can just go about doing it that way. And maybe you can even follow the design structure that I create here on Gutenberg or whatever page builder you're using. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a section here. And I'm going to add a heading. I'm just going to call this Contact Us. And I'm going to go ahead and just set this to the middle here. And then I'm going to add, let's see here, I'm going to click on my section. I'm going to go to advanced. I'm going to add some spacing at the top of just 100. Let me go ahead and remove that and unselect that so I can just add it to the top and the bottom. I'm going to make my text a little bigger here. I have it about to this size here, about like 35, that's fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on my section here. I'm going to go to style and I'm going to add a background color. I'm going to add a background image. And I'm going to go ahead and choose this image here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and adjust my image here real quick. So I'm going to do cover for the size. I'm going to set a custom positioning. I'm going to bring this up here. And then for my background overlay, go ahead and just add a blue color. Very light blue here. Bring down the opacity a little bit. I mean, you can choose pretty much any background. I'm just going to use that for now. I think that's fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and just make this sticky here. So for our attachment, we're going to do fixed. And we're just going to do a fixed position here. I know I said sticky, but I sort of meant fixed. Okay, so now that's looking great there. And we'll mobile optimize this towards the end of the video. Now I'm going to add a section with 2 columns here. And I'm going to go to advanced. And from the top, I'm going to do about 100. And from the bottom, I'll do 100 as well. That's usually how I space that out. And on my layout, I'm going to make sure that my column width is set to 1280. That'll be fine. I didn't really necessarily do it for this section here just because my text is set to the center, so you won't really notice. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab a heading here. I'm going to move it right in there. And I'm just going to type in contact, if I can spell properly, contact info. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and add a list. And then I'm also going to grab a text editor here. I'm just going to add some lorem ipsum paragraph here, or a sentence at the bottom. And then I'm just going to adjust my list here. So the first one is going to be a phone number. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in phone. I'm going to choose this icon here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put in a fake phone number. Go. And I will even make it clickable. In case for those of you that don't know how to do that, you just do it. Type that right in there. Alrighty. And then we're going to do an email. So we're going to do email at mywebsite.com. I'm going to do an envelope. Now, of course, you can actually add your information, but I'm just going to do placeholder information for now. And then we can do email or mail to. Go. Then we can just go and add the email just in case you click on that. We can make that into a link there. And then for this one, we will do an address. So I'm going to do just a random, random text here. West, street, state, country, whatever your country is. There we go. However you want to go about doing that. Probably didn't. And then we just want to go ahead and add, we can either do a map or we can just do a building. I like to do a building instead. There we go. And then I'm going to adjust the spacing on here a bit. My icon. Go ahead and choose my color that I've been using. This is a color that I'm going to be using here. And then I'm going to go ahead and just adjust my sizing of these icons here. I go to my text. Make sure that they're capitalized. And I'm going to adjust the sizing a bit. Now you don't have to do this. You probably would have already set it up for yourself, but maybe you haven't. I'm going to go ahead and add my form over here on this side. Just so then you know. But I'm pretty sure you guys already have an idea of that. And then I'm just going to adjust the text color here because clearly it's not the best right now. So I'm going to make sure that I just set it to gray color there. It's fine. I'm going to add some spacing to my sentence here. Maybe do about 20. And 20 from the top for my list as well. Do about 20 margin from the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add a background to this. Make this kind of gray here. A little gray background that we can use. Not too gray, of course. Just that'll be perfect there. The color is F2, F2, F2. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some padding to this here. There we go. If we want, we can even go to the border here and maybe add a little border to the left side, add a color. Just to give it some style here. Depends on how you want to go about doing that. I think that's perfect there. And then now we can go ahead and add our form here to the right. Let's go ahead and check that out real quick. How that looks. Now we'll go ahead and mobile optimize this towards the end so it can look a lot better. Alrighty. So now we're going to go into our form here. Go to your dashboard. And then go into Forminator. And this is where we're going to create our form. Now you do have the option to create a form. You can even create quizzes, polls. But I'm just going to create a simple form, simple contact us form. So go into Forminator. You can even click on forms here, and then just click on create, and then just click on contact form, just because I want to start off with a base. Then click continue. And then I'm just gonna name this contact us. And click on create there. Perfect. Now we have our contact field set up here, but I do want to add an extra one. Just for those of you that don't know how to add a field here. So you can just go ahead and click on insert fields. Place you want to add an extra field here. You can add a name, email, phone number, address, website, input, text area, number, radio box. You kind of get the gist of it. So we have all these options here. We can even do payments as well. But I'm just going to put input. And that'll just be a regular text area field, text field. And I'm going to go ahead and just choose company name. Will be my custom one that I will add here. So company name. And I'm going to also put it in my placeholder. And for my settings, I could set this to required, but I'm not going to. I'm going to set it to optional. And then we have an option to have a character limit. That's something that we wanted to do, or even a word. And if we want to pre-populate something, let's say your user's logged in and you want to pre-populate some other info that they already have, you can set that up too. You can even stylize this if you wanted to. There's even some visibility logic as well set to this. So if they answer a certain question, you can go ahead and show this, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it how it is. Click apply. And then click publish. I don't want to make this video too complicated for you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to go and just move this up here. And I'm going to have it right next to, right next to my full name. And then I'm going to have my phone number right next to my email as well. So you can just drag them and have them right next to each other. It's a lot better. So anyway, if you wanted to go ahead and adjust these, you can go ahead and click on this gear icon here. Click edit, or you can even just click on it. And you see this will have this pop up here, and we can adjust the name of it. Instead of doing placeholder, I can just do first name, however you want to go about doing that. You can even add a description for each field. And you can have your settings optional or required. Placeholders, I think we went over most of this. So that's already set up properly. That's how I want to have it set up. You can change your bind text as well. You can even add some stylizing if you want to add some CSS to that. I'll be going over that in a bit here. So send message is fine. You can even put submit, however you want to go about doing that. You can even set a little error message here. But I'm going to have it set to how it is now. So that's looking great. Now we can go to appearance here. And let me go ahead. Perfect. All right. There we have it. So now it's set to publish there, so we're fine. So before I start adding some style to this, I'm going to go ahead and see how this looks like on my contact us page. So I'm going to click on this gear icon, and I'm going to copy the shortcode. And then I'm going to go into my elements, and I'm going to type in shortcode. And I'm going to drag my shortcode right in this box here. And I'm going to paste my shortcode in here. And we're going to click update. And then we have it. I'm going to go ahead and add another tab here. I can go into Forminator again, just in case that happened to you. And I'm going to go ahead and edit my contact page here. I'm going to go back to appearance. There we go. So currently this is how our form looks like. Now I'm going to go ahead and move my form here to the left side. I'm going to add some spacing from the left. And I'm thinking I do about 35. All right, now that's looking good. Now the only issue that I don't like is that we have this big spacing here. I honestly don't like the spacing. So I'm going to do some custom CSS to remove that spacing there. So if you guys want to do that with me, it's really simple actually. So click on your column here, go into advanced, Go to CSS. Now that's only if you have Elementor Pro, but if you don't have Elementor Pro, that's fine. I know that in this video I mentioned that you can just use it by having the free version. You can just add this code to your customizer. What I would do, let me go ahead and show you how I would do it with the Pro version and then without the Pro version really quick. So I'm going to do selector. And then we're going to do a display of inline block. It's really simple there, inline block. And then now if we click update, we'll notice that we won't have that issue anymore there. So it's really easy here. I would just copy this code here, or you know what, you don't even need to, just remove it. And then go to advanced, and we're just going to add a CSS class. And we're going to call this contact info. That's what we'll call it, contact info. I mean, I could call it contact info or info box, but I'm just going to call it contact info. And then real quick, we'll just go into the customizer. Just for those of you that don't have Elementor Pro. But if you do, then you can just go and skip that part here. Anyway, and then we'll just go in here really quick, type in contact info. And let's put a period right at the beginning here. It's very important because it is a class. And then we want to add some curly brackets, add 2 curly brackets. And in between those curly brackets, just type in display. I'll have this code in the description just in case. If you guys don't want to type this in, display inline block. And just click publish here. There we go. So it just depends how you want to go about doing that. So, alrighty. So now we just need to customize our contact us form here. But before I do that, let me go ahead and add a title up above here. I'm just going to copy this one and paste it over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do, let's do get in touch with us. That's pretty good. Get in touch with us. And maybe I should go ahead and make this capitalized here. So let's go to transform, go to capitalize there. Perfect. Maybe add some spacing from the top, the bottom, I mean, sorry. A little spacing there. Maybe about 25 is usually what I do there. That's perfect, that works. So, alrighty. So now what we can do from here is start to edit the appearance of this. All right. So from here, we can either do flat. I honestly prefer to do flat here. So now if we do our form, notice that we don't have that border. It looks a lot more clean and it does go with our website. So that's what I'm going to use, but you have all these other options. You can do bold, material. Material is actually a good one, or you can do none. I one of my most favorite ones are probably material or flat. One of the two, they're actually pretty clean. So it just depends on which ones you guys want to do, but this flat kind of goes more with our website. So I'm going to do that. Now, in case you do want to customize this, it's very simple. On the colors here, we can do custom, and we can customize our element, which this isn't the one that I'm gonna worry about. Or our main ones that I want to worry about are our input text area. So this is where we can change the color of our background fields here. It's probably the most important there. And you can change the color of your button as well. These other ones are pretty important. Response error and the response success. I mean, I kind of always leave those the same. I don't really change those. Submission indicator, I leave the same. Form container. So the form container is basically this entire box of your form. You can add a background to it if that's something that you wanted. But I mean, you can just do that within your page builder anyway. So I usually don't like to adjust those anyway. So right now we're just gonna deal with our fields here. Now, like I mentioned, you can change the color. Let's say I wanted to change that to blue. Now I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave it how it is, but I'm just want to show you guys an example there. I can change that to blue. Now I can change this hover effect. Obviously, you can tell that whenever we hover over this, changes back to gray, but we could just adjust the hover effect to be blue again, or if even focused whenever you're working on it. But I'm going to set that back to default. I think if I just remove the color there, I don't even have to select the gray there. It'll be automatically set back to gray. That's perfect. And that just goes with my website. And then you can go ahead and adjust the placeholder text here, color. You can adjust the color of the placeholder. You can adjust the color of the text. So however you guys wanted to do that. Maybe I wanted my text here, where we type, to be red or something. You can do that as well. Like, just to show you guys an example of that. And whenever you type, you see that it's red now. But I'm going to set it to black. Perfect. And our submit color, that one, I definitely want to change the color of our button, just because that doesn't really go with our website button that we've been using around. I'm going to go ahead and grab the color here. Go to my style, and I'm going to grab this color. I'm sure for your website, it will probably be a different color. There you go. And something maybe I forgot to mention, the template that I'm using and the theme that I'm using. This is the Cadence theme, and I'm using one of their page builder templates for Elementor, in case you guys are wondering there. So anyway, I'm going to go back here. And now that that's set to blue, let me go ahead and refresh this. I wonder if I saved it. I might have not saved it. So the hover effect is fine, to be honest. There we go. So that's perfect. Alrighty, now I will be showing you how to customize your button, how to make it at least a little bit larger with some CSS, because for some reason they don't have that option in here. But we can adjust the size of your font here for your submit. That is something that we can do. But we can't really adjust the padding on it for some reason. You have to do it within CSS. But that just depends how you want to go about doing that. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller here. I don't think my button text should be that big. There we go. And then I know that we can have a custom padding, but to be honest, this part doesn't really seem to work that well. But let me see. Let me try it out. Yeah. So we can't really set the padding too much here for the form fill space. But it's fine. I always just set this to none. Border set to none. Now the part that you do have to worry about is whenever you're choosing these, you will notice that if I choose maybe custom, you notice that it'll affect my my form here. See that? So now they won't be side by side. So that's something to note. Just letting you guys know. I'm gonna switch it back to the default here so we can fix that. There we go. And okay, so now that we went over most of that here, like I said, you can adjust your fonts, your field labels. You can adjust those, the sizing of those. I mean, we were able to do that apparently earlier, but you can adjust that if you wanted to make those a little bit bigger, as you can tell. You can adjust all of that. It's pretty simple to adjust. Just click on what you want to adjust. Maybe you want to adjust your field labels, your field descriptions, your input area for your font. I'm going to leave that as is. A part that I do want to show you guys, just some little customizations if you guys wanted to do it. First of all, my button here. You know what? Let's actually, let me show you guys how you guys can maybe you wanted to make your form here or your fields. You wanted to make them more. You want to smooth out the edges, make them round. So it's very easy actually. Okay, so go ahead and just click on input. And then go ahead and expand your curly brackets here. And then we just want to type in border dash radius and a colon. And then we want to go ahead and type in about 100 pixels. And then go ahead and click publish. Now you will notice here that our edges are smoothed out. We have these round edges here. And we want to do the same thing for our text area. So instead of just doing it, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to have to click on text area, and then expand our curly brackets. And we're going to do a border radius as well. I'll have this down in the description actually, so you can just paste it in here. If that's something that you wanted to do, you don't have to. And instead of doing 100, we're going to do like 20, just because 100 will not look good. And then we're going to do update. And just give that. There we go. Okay. So now that's working pretty good. And let's go ahead and add something to our button. So for some odd reason, they don't give us a class for our button. If we're on here and we try to see where is the form section, subtitle, field label, description, they don't have a button, but we can easily grab it and see what their CSS class is. So just click on it. Honestly, you can just copy the code that I provide to you in the description. I'm gonna grab it just from here. It's called Forminator button. I'm gonna grab that and go ahead and add that there. I don't know why they haven't added it, but and we're gonna add a padding to this. So I'm gonna do a padding full in there, and from the top we'll do about 15 pixels, and from the top and bottom 15 pixels, and from the sides we'll do about 30 pixels on each side. All right, so now that's looking a lot better there. Okay, and then we can even smooth out the edges. And it's basically the same thing. Just type in a border radius colon, and we'll do about 10 pixels. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so that works. Now, like I said, that really all depends of how you want to go about doing this. Maybe you don't want to have a border radius. You do want to expand the button, right? But you don't want to really add these here. You can just go ahead and remove this. Kind of want to leave it because I want to provide you guys that shortcode. So I'm going to just leave it just in case you guys want to use those codes there. So I'm going to leave this as they are. I think that looks good. Now, part that I do want to adjust is my, let's see if I can adjust how many how large that message box is. I can't, well that's fine. So here we have the default height. I'm going to do about 60 for the default height. And then click update. I feel like that box is way too huge. We can possibly do a little more there. Those settings, maybe do about 80. There we go. That's perfect. Now that works for me. Now the last thing that I do want to do actually is I forgot to add some social icons at the bottom just so that we can extend our button, our box here. I'm just going to type in social, and I'm still going to adjust a few more things on our contact form. I'm going to go over the notifications and all that so you can receive emails. Let me just go ahead and add these real quick. Do custom. I'm going to set these to blue, and I'm going to remove the background here. And I'm going to adjust the spacing on this one, then the padding. Probably just the size. Don't want them too big. And then I'm going to go to advanced here, and I'm going to add some margin to expand my button a bit. There you go. So that looks kind of clean there. Perfect. Perfect. Now what we can do as well, we can maybe even add some padding to this as well. We can do about 50. Or you know what we can do all together is just remove this shortcode for the CSS class, and then just set this to the middle. Click on your box here, and then go ahead and set this to the middle. That was the right one. There we go. And you can just set that to the middle, and you can have it set up like that. I mean, honestly, this looks a lot better, so I'm going to have it set up like this. I think that works perfectly. Alrighty. I kind of don't like these round edges, but I do want to save this, so I'm going to go back to appearance, and I'm going to grab this code here, and I'm going to copy it. I'm probably just going to add it on here so that I can share that with you guys later on. But I do want to remove the edges here. I don't want that. And I don't want a border radius on here. But I just want to have that as an option in case you guys want to customize your form that way. There we go. I feel like that's both my website a lot better in my opinion. Okay. So let's go back to appearance. One last thing here before we go into our behavior and our email notifications. If you do want to remove the labels here, all you got to do is make sure you add your placeholder label, and then you just, or sorry, your placeholder label, and then just remove your main label and click apply. And then as you can tell, there we go. And then let's see here. And that's going to remove my label. And then you would just basically do the same thing to all of them. Go into each one, remove your label, and then just add a placeholder, and then just click apply. That's what I would do if you wanted to remove the label. Because I know that some of you guys might have that question. That's how you would go about doing that. But I kind of like the label, so I'm going to go with it. That's fine. And then let's go back to let's go to a behavior. Now this part here, this is going to be our after submission. So whenever someone submits, let me just go ahead and test it out here so you know what I'm talking about. So this is just going to be our message whenever someone would submit something. I'm just going to do @.com, and my number is whatever, and my message is whatever. So as you can tell now, it says thank you for contacting us. We will be in touch shortly. And that is pretty much the message that we have here. Now that is pretty useful, and I do like that, but I don't want to show my my form anymore. I want to hide my form after I submit. You can even do a redirect URL, which is something that I would suggest if you do want to track your submissions, maybe with like a Facebook pixel, or you're using Google Analytics. It's something that you can do. Just send them to a thank you page whenever they submit the form. But it just depends on how you want to go about doing that. But I usually like to do hide form and click update. So then whenever someone does submit, let me make sure I refresh this, because make sure that it actually does it properly here. And I'm just going to add some random info here, and then submit here. And you'll notice on my form will hide, and then I'll just have the message, which is perfect. And then now people can just leave the page and go somewhere else. So that's pretty good. But as you can tell, my message did disappear there after a while. So you can remove this auto close here so the message doesn't disappear. I'm going to go ahead and have that. I'm going to go ahead and remove that so then they always see the message and they just have to refresh or something, or like leave the page. Okay. And then over here, honestly, I usually just leave it to Ajax. I leave it validation on submit, submission indicator. I leave it on show loader. That's fine. Enable autofill. So this is more for logged in users if you want to have their info autofilled. Security. This is for bots, people that want to spam you. I would honestly leave this on. It'll help you out. You can also do a captcha as well. It's really easy to set up the captcha if you have before. I'll go over it during the settings here. And then so we can enable this only for logged in users if that's something that you wanted to do. You can even expire some of the submissions as well. By default, this form will always be available for submission. However, you can lock it, so we can actually lock the form after a specific time if that's something that you wanted to do. rendering. So I usually just leave these unchecked, and these are pretty much optimal if you want to prevent page caching on your form. And I click update. So now let's go into the email notifications. Now I definitely want to go over this part. I know that I have done videos on contact forms in the past, and I do get this question a lot, is how do I receive the emails? So I'm going to try to go over this and explain this properly. So let's go ahead and click on this pre-made email here. So if we click on this one, this is the email that you're going to be receiving. So this is just a label. It's just so that you know what it's called. Just a label of your entire email here. Not really anything special. This isn't what you're going to be getting in your email. It's just a label for it so you can find it. But anyway, the most important parts are right here. Subject, body. So this is the subject of the email that you're going to be receiving. And this is the body text that you're going to be receiving, pretty much the user information that they submitted on the form. And then this right here is our recipients. So this is your email, and this is pretty much wherever you want the emails to be sent to. This is where you want to go ahead and adjust that. So if I wanted to go ahead and get it to my email, I just type in whatever my email is, .com, gmail.com, or whatever, just so that I can receive those emails to that email box. This one isn't really that important. Email routing, and that's something that you want to do, that's fine. Now we can click on this plus sign. Now this is something that I'm going to be going over after this, but for right now, this is an email that we want to add so you're receiving your email. And then we go to advanced, and then we can add a from name. So this would usually be the company name or whatever, but you don't need to add this if you're sending this to yourself. But if you are going to send emails to your to the people that submitted the form, I'll be going over that here right after this. You can fill this out. That's something that you wanted to do, but I don't think it's that important when the email is going to you anyway. And you can even add conditionings, but I'm not going to add any conditions to this, but it is something that you're able to do. Okay, now let's say you want to go ahead and send emails to your customers whenever they submit the form. So go ahead and add an email, and just label this maybe customer email or something, customer email. And that's just a label, doesn't matter. You can put like, thank you for submitting. Thank you for contacting us. That sounds better. For contacting us. Thank you for contacting us. We will contact you. I don't know, whatever you guys want to add. Contact you shortly. Shortly. Then you can put whatever the company name is. Company name, and then maybe even like a phone number if that's something that you wanted to do. However you wanted to go about doing that. And then maybe you can put hello or whatever. Okay. And then the recipients. Now this is a part that's pretty important. We want to be able to send the email to the customer that submitted the form. So you want to click on email, and that's how you send it to their email there. And then we can do advanced, and we can do for the phone name. Definitely really important that you fill this information out whenever you're sending this to a customer. So this would be like company name, whatever that is, and then your company email. You can do sales at companyemail.com, and then you can do the reply to email. If you want to do them to reply, you can CC some emails, BBC some emails, however you want to go about doing that. And then we have conditions. I'm not going to add any conditions. I'm going to click add, and you can pretty much set up a bunch of email triggers here. I'm wondering if in the conditions we can go ahead and which would be pretty cool in the future. I don't think they have this, or maybe we can do a start value, and we can maybe send this after a certain time. That'd be nice, but I don't think there's a condition for that, but that would be pretty cool. Maybe you can send multiple emails, but that's how that would be set up. And then we have our integrations. If you did want to integrate this with pretty much any other application, you can do that. That's sort of kind of within your settings here. That's something that you're able to do. And then we can set up our privacy how long do you want to retain the submissions for. You can do custom. You can set up maybe 10 days. Do you want to like erase these after a certain while, or do you want to retain them? You can just remove them right away. You can delete the submission files or keep. So it depends how you ever want to do that. Maybe the files that they uploaded, if you do end up adding that to your form where people can upload a file, you can keep it on your website or you can delete it. Usually I would set it to delete just in case it has virus or something. And this is if you want to disable stored submissions in my database, you can disable this. So that just depends. I'm going to leave this to default and click update. Now, if you do want to add a captcha, you can go to your settings here. And then Google captcha, you can go ahead and just add your Google captcha in here. And it's really simple. I mean, there's tons of videos on how to do that. I'm not really going to go over that too much. And then go to your form here. Click edit. Once you've added your captcha keys to the settings, go in here, go ahead and click edit. And then go ahead and click insert fields, and we just want to add a captcha field. Should be right here. And we can even add a GDPR for those that want to add like a little checkbox. And it's pretty cool because it actually does add a little checkbox here. GDPR. Let me just go ahead and show you guys that there. GDPR. It was something that you wanted to do. That's something that you're definitely able to do as well. I'll leave that there. You know what? Maybe I'll just remove it. But definitely just depends on how you guys want to go about doing that. Last part here, let me just mobile optimize this really quick. So this is kind of good. I just kind of want to add some spacing to the side here. So maybe from the left side we can do about 20, right about 20, and then from the top about 50. It's usually what I do for mobile. There we go. Even adjust this a bit. We can do more custom just to fix that. There we go. So that's set there, and now let's just set up our mobile here. So I want to go ahead and leave this at the bottom. So I'm going to click on my section here, and I'm going to go into responsive, and on mobile I want to switch these around. I think that's fine there. And then I'm going to remove the spacing that I have on the left side here. But I'm going to add some spacing to the bottom. Do about 40 should be good. Okay. And let's just take a look at this on mobile just to make sure that it's looking great here. We might even just adjust this real quick just because I feel like it's a little bit too much. I think in my opinion I could do 50 instead. I think that'd be better. And let's go ahead and check it out real quick and see how mobile optimized it is. That's perfect. All right, that's looking pretty good. Okay, that's pretty much it there. Now we're all set. That's pretty much it for this video. I know that it was kind of a long one, but I just feel like I really need to explain things better, just so then you guys have more of an understanding. And I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did find it helpful, make sure to squash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Thanks for watching.